invited and recognized guests. In our audience, I guess we have Mr. David Forrest.
Forrest, right.
Forrest. If you could please come and introduce yourself and address, and
Okay.
feel free.
David Forrest, I was asked to comment on your proposed ordinance requiring a firearm in all households. So I just have 2 points that I'd like to make. Number one, that I think it clearly would show that you are in support publicly for home defense. And I think that is a proud tradition of our country, and it needs to be continued. That people have the right to defend their homes, and you as a government body clearly have a certain degree of expectation with that. And number two, I think it sends a clear message to our federal government that we are supporters of the Second Amendment, and we do not intend to see that abridged. So I certainly would support and do support your effort in that regard. I think it's terribly important, and I hope that more jurisdictions will follow suit.
Yeah. Any questions for anybody? Thank you very much. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay, Chairman.
Thank you.
No, I'm going to speak here. I'm not worried about it. I have to do it at the end, though.
If he has to leave,
Yeah.
he's not on.
Can you wait until?
I just wanted introduction of, yes. I'm just, who is he?
She's the former retired chief of police of Woodstock.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
He was a major with the sheriff's office.
And he was
Major with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
Before taking the Woodstock.
for Woodstock. Chief Heath.
Okay, I just wanted to tell the council that I think this is a great idea. When y'all first come to me about it, I was kind of a little worried at first, but one quote comes to mind when I think about this ordinance, and it was on the Weapons Act of Germany in 1935. A madman made a quote that said, for the first time in history, a civilized nation will have full gun registration, our streets will be safer, our police more efficient, and the world will follow our lead into the future. Y'all ever said that?
And I know.
Adolf Hitler. That's right. One of the only things he probably said that made sense. But as far as this goes, I think it's a good idea, and the chief kind of stole my thunder about the Second Amendment. I think y'all are showing the people that you're in full support of the Constitution, and as far as the Second Amendment goes, that you stand behind it, you stand behind people's rights. I've had many phone calls in the past few weeks, especially after the school shootings. Chief, what are you going to do if the government tells you to take our guns away? Well, in 1992, when I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, the Second Amendment was part of that, and I don't think they're going to be changing the Second Amendment, so I tell the people don't worry about that. But I did call Chief Westenberger at Kennesaw, and we talked for roughly 2 hours about this, and I felt a lot more comfortable after I spoke with him about this. This ordinance was passed in 1982, and I hope me telling you this is going to make you feel a little bit more comfortable about it too. 1982, when this was passed, I don't know the ones that lived in Georgia. You know, I was just a little kid, and some of y'all was even smaller than me. It made national news, and whether it was a political statement or, like the chief said, for people to protect their property, either way, it was good. So this ordinance being passed is nothing but good. You can only go up with it. And as far as the statistics goes, Chief Westenberger told me that once it was passed, crime rate went down 30% immediately, just down. And you know, you're comparing 30,000 to what do we have, 1,400? That's pretty good stats to go down 30% immediately. And he said since it's been passed, looking back in the records, there's not been an increase in gun violence. No increase in gun violence, no increase in violent crimes. And this is the one that worried me that I feel a lot more comfortable about, was the accidental household shootings. I was real concerned about that. It hadn't went up. It hadn't happened since 1982. I know Kennesaw's a lot bigger than us, and they have more crime, more homicides. As far as the homicides go, since 1982, it's been split right down the middle. It's been 50-50. You know, 50% of it has been used with guns, 50% of it has been used with knives, sticks, whatever, axes, chainsaws, whatever. But last year, in connection with this, was their best and lowest crime rate ever, even since 1982. So one good thing about this, he said he's still getting a lot of attention, national attention, and now he's getting worldwide attention. Just the day before I talked to him this week, Germany had called him, and a bunch of other European agencies had called him inquiring about this, and they're wanting to adopt it too. So, you know, this is a step in the right direction as far as Nelson goes. I think we're showing the people how much we support it, and I think it's a good thing. And it doesn't cause crime to go up. So, and he said now, with the new people moving in, he said 30 to 40% of the residents doesn't even know about it. So I think this is going to really take off, and then like what happened, it'll probably just level out, and I hope this made y'all feel a little bit better about it. Because I did, especially after talking to him. You know, like I said, we can only go up with this. It's a good thing. Does anybody got any questions they want to ask me about it? That I may have missed something? If not, I will leave you with a little biblical verse concerning this. Luke chapter 22, verse 36. He that hath no sword, sell his garment and buy one. So.
Okay. Now, we're down to, wow, item number 8J. First reading Family Protection Ordinance. Mr. Chronic, please. Council.
Yes. This right here.
Point of order. The ordinance requires that for first reading, that the ordinance in its form to be adopted has to be available to the public. It has not been made available to the public.
It's not on our website? We didn't post it anywhere? Yes, we posted.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, Mr. Attorney,
Chair.
do we?
We don't normally post ordinances.
No.
No, he's talking about the formal ordinance, which he got what it was supposed to say, but it just didn't have the ordinance number and things like that, because I emailed you and thought you would bring it.
Usually I would incorporate the actual number after it's actually approved at the first reading. Give it a, decide where it's going to go for the second reading.
So, what would your recommendation be here?
I mean, we can look into the issue. I can talk to Mr. Cullen about it afterwards if you want to move forward. At this point, obviously, if there's some problem with notice, then you can do it again.
Okay, swing back to it.
That would not take it at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll look at
Any
the
issue
issue.
with that?
Yes, that's fine.
So, we're going to go ahead with discussion. And if we need to revise, come back, we'll do that. So, go ahead, Dwayne.
Yes, this right here is, this ordinance would basically allow for, and I'll read the ordinance. It's head of households to maintain firearms in order to provide for the emergency management of the city, and further, in order to provide for and protect the safety, security, and general welfare of the city and its inhabitants. Every head of household residing in city limits is required to maintain a firearm together with ammunition thereof. Part 2. Except from the effect of this section are those heads of household who suffer a physical or mental disability, which would prohibit them from using such a firearm. Further exempt from the effect of this section are those heads of households who are paupers or who conscientiously oppose maintaining firearms as a result of beliefs or religious doctrine, or persons convicted of a felony. Basically, this says in the first sentence that every head of household is required to own a firearm. The second sentence says unless you for some reason feel that you don't, or you shouldn't be required to. Basically, this is a deterrent ordinance. A deterrent ordinance. It comes straight from Kennesaw. This is where this comes from. It comes straight from Kennesaw. That's been on their ordinance book since 1982. And it's basically a deterrent ordinance. It's no more than putting a sign in your front yard saying that ADT protects this home. Now, the person that may be singling your home out to cause harm to you, your family, or to break into your house has to decide when I break that door down, what's on the other side of the door. Have I, what is there? And it's a protection. It's a protection that everyone should have, and they should feel that they have the right to protect themselves, their house, their property, their family from an intruder without worrying about prosecution for protecting themselves. And that's, this right here, with everything that's going on, I felt like this was the right time to put this forward and just to see what we would do with it. Yes, I'll make a motion, we accept this first reading of the Family Protection Ordinance.
I'll second it.
I have a second. Discussion.
It's that big.
It's very good.
I think it's a good ordinance.
Yes.
Obviously, it's one of those things, it's more a paper ordinance than it is anything. Because if you require it, and then the second sentence, it doesn't require it, basically, it's more of just a statement on
It's
paper.
a deterrent.
It's a
I would
deterrent,
hope
yeah.
it would be a deterrent.
And it's withstood the test of time in Kennesaw, so we know that it's legally okay. So, that's where I'm at on it.
Any other comment on this? Discussion? Okay. Are we ready for the vote? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.